Broadcasting from somewhere in Michigan, this is the Dom Radio Show. And now, introducing Dominic.
Dom Radio Show. I'm having it separate from my main personal channel, but yeah, it is nice to be back. And all that stuff. Some certain things to talk about. But yeah, a lot of things have been happening personally, and with schooling and things like that. You have college starts tomorrow. Officially starts tomorrow, and just getting some things taken care of, and things like that. But it's obviously a very, very exciting time. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. This is New Year 2017. Obviously, I do not do New Year's resolutions or anything like that, but because it'll just be hard for me to make promises like that, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, but if you've done New Year's resolutions or anything like that, definitely try your best to keep them as long as you can. Work hard as long as you can, and understand that even though we're going to have a new president will not fix your life. You fix your life, and so on and so forth. But the three major things we're going to be talking about today. CNN reporting Martin Shkreli was kicked off of Twitter today. Yeah, if you didn't know, Martin Shkreli, he's the young CEO that jacked up the price of certain life-saving medications. Got very, very infamous for that. It's called that's what you call the free market, but because it's free to do certain things, and now it's done. He's a good example of raising the price of a drug for HIV patients, and then he got indicted on unregulated fraud charges, and then since then he's used social media to draw more attention on himself. So according to CNN, this is Martin Shkreli was kicked off from Twitter on Sunday. The reason is strange behavior directed on journalist Lauren Duca, the weekend editor of Teen Vogue. I can't pronounce it today for some reason. But anyway, Duca called Shkreli out to Twitter on a tweet to CEO Jack Dorsey on Sunday. Quote, "This house is allowed." Apparently there was, it says here she included two screenshots of Shkreli's Twitter profile page. One was a photo of Duca and her husband, a photo Shkreli had apparently manipulated to put his face in place of Duca's husband. The second screenshot showed Shkreli's Twitter background image, a montage of photos of Duca and text that said, quote, "For better or worse, till death do us part, I love you with every single beat of my heart." Those are lyrics to a popular 90s love ballad. In addition, Shkreli's Twitter bio read that he had a small crush on Duca. Hope she doesn't find out. Duca is the author of Teen Vogue co-op-ed, How Trump is Gaslighting America, which went viral in December, and she has 132,000 followers on Twitter. So yeah, this is obviously, a general response, obviously not justifiable, but, Martin's going a little cuckoo after what's been going on after, all the fraud charges and the raising the drug prices, for HIV patients. And, it's like one of those, I'm a big superstar, and then, then you take all the drugs, and then you start going downhill, and then this is kind of, the response to, I want to try to bring back things like that. But, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. There are many things in this world that don't surprise me anymore, for obvious reasons. But, yeah, just Martin Shkreli, just trying to get back into the whole thing. And another thing going on in the news, if you guys probably didn't know, yesterday, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, Fort Lauderdale International Airport had a gunman just try to get something without playing a video here. But, pause, there we go. Give me a second. Yeah, so yeah, the gunman walks through the baggage claim area at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, and he pulls out a handgun from his wristband and begins firing. There was some security footage obtained by TMZ showing the seconds before the gunman, after the gunman, shows up and things like that. According to CNN, they've obtained footage of this, but who's the guy? Esteban Santiago. He opened fire on an airport Friday, and yep, just 8, I think 5 dead, 8 injured. All 8 are currently in the hospital, and it was just used a handgun. It is late today, of course, but the Army's veteran rambling interview at an Anchorage office was concerning enough for authorities to take away his gun in order for mental health evaluation, but it wasn't enough to get him mentally intoxicated, which would have prohibited him from owning a firearm. So he went through Anchorage, but Anchorage did allow him to have a handgun. And so, yeah, there was obviously some complications with him having a handgun, and then him with, apparently there's something going on with another mental disorder, but just short summary what happened. He shot 3 clips of ammo, which I think was around 48 bullets, or somewhere around that much, somewhere around there. And he shot all of them, and then once he was done with all his bullets, he just then immediately surrendered, and then got into custody. Well, they obviously put the whole airport on lockdown. Now it's no longer on lockdown, but just another one of those things. Another one of those gun shootings. I believe it was the first one to happen this year, the first major gun shooting this year. But Yep. I wouldn't be surprised if people were to advocate for, gun reform. Wouldn't surprise me, but me personally, I would advocate for gun reform, but I'm just too tired to. I'm done bringing that up because it doesn't. It doesn't do anything for anyone. Like some people just don't listen. Some people don't care. People complain, argue, and frustrate over guns because they, in one sense, they feel like they're obligated to own a gun. But this is what happens when there's more guns than people in a country, and we have these incidences almost every single day, and people are wondering why. And some people say there should be more and more and more guns, and obviously that's not solving any problems because we have what was it, like 900 mass shootings last year in 2016, and then 2015 was about that much. It does remind me of a story where I was in a political camp, and I was a lobbyist for a certain bill, and it involved gun control in schools and in colleges, public and private colleges, having students having guns and things like that, and there were certain colleges that allowed guns in the college, and yet there was still gun shootings, like Virginia Tech, for example, and I believe there was another college. It was a community college in Washington State, I believe, that had this policy, but it still happened. And obviously there is security at the airport with these, with security having guns, yet this incident still happened. 5 people died, 8 injured. Once again, the cycle begins again, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I guarantee you guys, Trump will not be fixing this. It will not be going. I predict that there's still going to be a major gun issue or gun problem after January 20th. Because well, I don't want to get into the specifics. I'm getting off track here, obviously, but third thing, according to the Young Turks reporting, and also other news agencies, Ellen DeGeneres, obviously, famous for the Ellen Show, she boots gospel singer Kim Burrell from her show after homophobic remarks. After a video of her calling homosexual perverted during a church sermon emerged late last week, gospel singer Kim Burrell's scheduled appearance on Thursday's episode of Ellen has officially been canceled. Ellen confirmed the rumors on Tuesday afternoon, tweeting, "For those asking, Kim Burrell will not be appearing in my show." The singer is scheduled to perform a track from the Hidden Figures soundtrack alongside Pharrell Williams, who wrote the film's ununiformly excellent original songs, but Gossip Cop reports Tuesday that he will be performing alone, and the DeGeneres may address the controversy in a later episode. What is almost certainly a response to Burrell's newly resurfaced comments, both Pharrell and Hidden Figures star Janelle Monáe took to Instagram to publicly condemn hate speech. Also, Monáe reposted Williams' Instagram and adding to his lengthy comment to the LGBT community. And it's obviously it's very long. But it just, long story short, just Monet is just condemning, those actions and things like that. But quite a obviously that doesn't surprise me at all. That Ellen, would do something like this. I don't think there's really much conspiracy involving all that, but I'm gonna probably have this show shorter than usual, but I'm gonna take a 5-minute break, and we will be right back. I'm back. So during the break, was just looking at a few different things. One is I just forgot his name. Tim Jones. Oh boy. Hold on. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Oh my god. His name's Tim Jones. Tim Jones from CNN. Forgot his name. Tim Jones. Van Jones. Okay, yep. They were talking about Van Jones saying that Clinton days are over and that the centrism has to stop. Completely agree. It's probably one of the main reasons why Trump won. I believe that it was obviously many. I just want to. I'll start out this. I do believe that the centrism on the left, especially with the establishment, is I believe one of the main tipping points for Trump winning this election, because it on paper it didn't make sense that he would win Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, and Michigan. It seemed like it was a deal breaker, or it seemed like a done deal for those states, but unfortunately that wasn't the case, and this is something we're just gonna have to deal with by the end, next 4 years. That the Democratic Party has to get itself together and bring people from the progressive wing, into leadership. Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Keith Ellison. I do support Keith Ellison in becoming the chair. Nothing wrong with him. Nothing wrong with that. In general. But the whole centrist position, the whole establishment position that the Democrats have been going on, taken for granted for the blue collar workers, that needs to stop. That needed to stop yesterday. That needed to stop years ago. And I do believe Bernie Sanders would have won, but something I don't want to, hang over my head for a very long period of time, because there's work that needs to be done. And it's just that's just something that people need. The party needs to really just get slapped in the face. Because that's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. The fact that the Democratic Party lost to a clown, and now we have to deal with it. Okay, the party, to all the Trump supporters out there, you do not win because of abortion. You do not win because of gay marriage. Will you get that? Yeah, probably. You'll probably get what you want, but you will also get, establishment Republican presidency. Just look at it. If you don't believe me, just look at his cabinet. All corporate establishment people, and you have someone is going to be in the Department of Housing that doesn't believe in housing, someone in the Department of Energy that doesn't believe in the Department of Energy, someone in the Department of Education that doesn't believe in public education. This doesn't make any sense. I was talking to someone, and And I was telling them that there are Republicans out there that experienced public education, that know how to fix public education, that has been exposed to public education, and has been knee deep in it. But our new Secretary of Education has never been in public education. She never went to a public school. First of all, second of all, has proposed policies in their past that would defund public schooling and also fund charter schools, support more charter schools, which has been an epic failure in the most part, at least in general, has done more harm. Like I remember in end of the summer, I was listening to NPR, and they were talking about there was a charter school in the Lansing area. I forgot what it was called, Lansing, Michigan area, and they said that it was like 2 to 3 weeks before school started, and this was just a normal charter school, and they said we won't be able to have high school this year. And I'm like, I just watched a John Oliver video about charter schools, and like, yeah, well, this doesn't surprise me, but yeah, we're having but anyway, our new Secretary of Education, having never been a public school, has proposed bad policies on public schools and has proposed policies to fuel the fire on charter schools. And personal note, I personally don't have anything wrong with like private schools or charter schools in general. It's just that you need to produce results, and so personally, I don't have anything wrong with private schools. It's just that don't necessarily force your beliefs on public schools, if et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, or take away the whole public school system, or even what she's doing with or what she's proposing, doing a vulture system in the public school system, which that's completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, but anyway, and also, her kids have been in private school. So, yeah, she never sent her kids to public school. She doesn't believe in public school. That's more than obvious. But I know there are Republicans out there that have been in public school, and respect public school, know how to fix public school. And out of all of that, Donald Trump's picks somebody else that should not be in the public school system. Before November 4th, before November 8th, I'm sorry, there was talks about, okay, let's do free public college. Well, guess what? Now there might be not free public high school, middle school, elementary. This is ridiculous. And the people who tipped the balance to allow Donald Trump to become president they didn't vote. They voted because they didn't trust Hillary Clinton because of the whole establishment bias and maybe Benghazi and maybe the emails, which, by the way, I've read the declassified CIA report on the whole Russia thing, which I do want to say this now before I continue, is that Russia is not an excuse for any of the problems that Democrats are having. I just want to be clear. The Democrats need to focus on the issues and not on Russia, not have that as an excuse. Donald Trump won. Now let's beat him up. Let's beat the crap out of him 4 years from now. Because as far as I know, that's I'm already seeing that happen. Are the foundations of how to beat Donald Trump very badly. You know. So, and what was I talking about now? Alright, yeah, the Democrats need to focus on the issues and understand, what's at stake here, and they need some new leadership now. And also the other thing I wanted to talk about, this is more personal, but if you've been following me on Facebook, I recently been posting about fixing my iPhone. If you didn't know, I used to work for an iPhone repair company, but there was something wrong with my particular iPhone 5S about a year ago. I think it was about a year ago where this became a problem where my iPhone's touchscreen didn't work, and even replacing the screen wouldn't work. So there was obviously something wrong with the logic board or the motherboard of the phone. Well, I went to my old company that I used to work for that fixes them, and they said that in order to fix it, it would require like micro soldering. That's how deep it was. Well, I had a backup phone, which was a broken iPhone 5. There were other problems with it, like it had poor reception, like the antenna was broken, and that every time you would boot it up, it would crash, like a hardware crash, and then would reboot. What I would have to do with that is I would turn it on, and then I would put it in sleep mode, and I would leave it alone for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'd be okay with it. But it was unstable. Something was wrong with the battery readings. It wouldn't read the battery correctly. With the percentage of the battery, and yada yada yada. That wasn't much of a big deal, but yeah. So a couple days ago, my iPhone 5, the screen broke. The not the touchscreen, but the LCD. Broke, and so in order for me to fix it, I needed to buy a replacement part. Well, I needed a phone, and so for the last 2 days, I went back to my shelf, where I had old broken phones, where I would primarily use them for spare parts. That's where I found. I got my old phone, which I marked as dead, and I did a little research, and I did a old unconventional method. This is completely unconventional. It might not work, but where you take an incandescent bulb and you heat up the phone. You heat up the phone so much where it doesn't break the phone, but it loosens the solder contacts, and it expands the soldering contacts, or the solder on the phone, and so that any broken contacts can reconnect. Well, that worked on an iPhone 4S that I used to have, where there's something wrong with the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi antenna, there was a hardware glitch where some iPhones would just not work. iPhone 4S's Wi-Fi antennas would just not work because the connector to the logic board was faulty. In order to fix it, you needed to heat up the phone so much so that you couldn't use the phone because it was hotter to the touch. Well, so what I did is I removed the logic board out of the phone, and it's called the touch screen IC, or touch screen integrated chip. It's located behind the logic board, right behind the connectors for the camera, the touchscreen, and the LCD. Well, so I with a few attempts, got it working again. I heated up the phone, and the chip was able to fully contact with the board, and so this is very, very exciting for me, to be able to use my phone, use this phone again. And the weird thing is, I have the old the new phone feeling, but it's a phone I've had for years, and so I'm like using it, and like the screen is so clear and all that. I can use slow motion again, and I can have my fingerprint scanner again, and 1080p at 60 frames a second video and all that stuff. So obviously very exciting. Very, very exciting to do all that. But yeah, that was that's yeah, that's nice to do, but yeah, I can do 60 frames a second video, or what was it? I think was it 120? But I don't know. I can now do 1080p or 720p slow motion, and that's obviously very exciting because I once took that for granted, but now I can start doing all of that now. But yeah, obviously something very exciting, and I think I kind of run out of ideas to talk about for today's radio show. Obviously, I need to continue to improve on my efficiency. Talking to you guys. Leave questions in the comment section below. I will have this show every week on Sunday at 11, unless otherwise stated or posted. I will have this show every week on Sunday at 11. This obviously something very exciting, and this is the Dom Radio Show. I will see you guys next week.